You want me back after taking me to hell and back. Thought I told you I was done with that. So tell me why you want me back. You want me back after taking me to hell and back. I thought I told you I was done with that. Tell me why you want me back. You want me back. Okay, shout out to Fireboy. Okay. Um, that song has just been in my head. Okay, I came on here to do a reading, so that was just a little. Just ignore it. I'm just having a good time. Okay, so if you're following these readings, you have been in resonance with being in spiritual isolation. Okay, why do we need to be in isolation, Meek? Why? Why? We want to hang out with our friends. We want to be in the streets. Da 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 da. It's important. Okay, it's an important part of your ascension to see where your resonance ends and others begin. Okay, and not to mention, a lot of this ascension process is not it's not that pretty sometimes. Okay, it may look like sickness. It may look like depression. Actually, it may look like bursts of happiness, dance parties. Okay, it looks like different things. Okay, depending on which part of your shadow is being worked. Okay, and how light your heart is. Okay, I need to also say this whole thing about spiritual community. These two things are very, look at me, all right? Look at me, all right? I don't really think these two words are synonymous with one another. I don't think they go together, okay? Because spirit is a very individualistic thing, okay? To the point where, yes, do you have other people in resonance with you? Yes, but it has to do with alignment, not attachment, okay? So a lot of times when we think community, it's like this idea that you are bounded by these people to do certain things in order to show up for your community. And I am for that, actually. It's one of the cards I created in my Divinations Angel Readers Oracle deck. If you like to purchase, pick it up. So yes, does it come up? Yes, because no matter where you go, that is now you're part of that community now. Okay? It just doesn't mean you have to be in everybody's face all the time. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand, right? Because no matter what, resonance is going to resonate. Okay? So we could be in the same city, same location, and never meet each other, right? Because my reality is consisting of these things. Your reality is consisting of these things. There is a separation. I know people don't like thinking about it that way, but it's true. There's divine oneness in the grand scheme, right? But we're not linked, or it's a spiritual journey is a very solo journey. That's my whole point of why I'm saying that. Okay. So just be mindful. Yes, we're supposed to be in spiritual isolation because we are transforming, we're evolving. It's the evolution time. Okay. A lot of self-reflection, a lot of things coming up from the shadow into your I know, be quiet, please. Give me a second. Into your reality. Okay. I did also talk about psychosis. If you go on my page, last couple of videos, you're going to see my whole thoughts on psychosis and how that this is an important part of awakening and realizing that you are meant for something more. Mogaju Ayelo, we are bigger than this life. We are bigger than this world. Okay? So, with that being said, you are going to get into situations where your reality, your spirit is bigger than the reality that you're currently experiencing. Okay? And that differentiation is going to cause sometimes a depressive energy. Sometimes you may want to be in community. You might actually want to enclose yourself in communities so you don't feel like you're alone. All right. But like I said, spiritual journey is such an individualistic thing that even if you're in a crowd of people, you're going to feel alone because you're no longer in resonance here. Okay. Something bigger is calling you. So don't distract yourself with being busy. Or what you think being busy looks like. Okay, don't distract yourself with entertainment. Okay, we're talking so isolated, so present. Okay, that only the Spirit of God can touch you. All right, are you here with me? Okay, so I'm talking about putting down the YouTube. That one's for me too. Okay, I call everybody out, even myself. Okay, putting down the YouTube, putting down the movies, the TV shows, and just being still to work through the areas that need to get realigned in order for you to be your best possible self. Point blank, period. That's all this is all about. Okay? So it's not about the likes or the following, or if we can behave this way, then we can entice these people to give us money. Not with it. Okay, we do it for the love. We not do it for the likes. Do it for the love. We not do it for the likes. Jesus Christ. All right. Shout out to Chronix. All right, we don't do that. Okay, we have to stay authentically ourselves. It's very, very important. I don't know if you guys realize there's a cycle. Okay, realize, but no matter where you are in the cycle, being authentic will get you through everything, and also being truthful, which I think goes hand in hand with the word authentic. Okay, so because resonance never lies, energy doesn't lie. Thank you, Sensei. Shout out to you. I know you in the ether somewhere can feel my energy, hear me. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. There is individuality, and then you're always part of the oneness. Okay, you don't have to physically be in everyone's face or presence. Okay, because my love is felt throughout space and time. I don't care if we were friends back in kindergarten and I shared, actually that may be too long because I've outshedded a lot of those cells already. Okay, my whole point is if you guys were close to me, whether it be a friendship, a lover, okay, a family member tied by blood, I have connection with you. In the ether, okay? In the physical, we maybe have fallen out of resonance because I will always choose me when it comes to evolution. Okay. All right. And some of you are old, have ties to old versions of me that I've outgrew. My mentality has changed. Okay. And I have also from other people. I used to think it was rejection, like, hey, why you don't want to hang out with me no more? But they're just on a different timeline. Okay. And maybe the thing that had us in resonance, they are no longer they're no longer feeding. And that's okay. Right? It's all about the individual progression that allows the entirety of the community progression to keep going on. Okay? Because we are linked whether or not we're in the same geographical location or not. Okay? So I wish all of you well. I wish all of you guys prosperity. All of you. All of you. Even the few knuckleheads. And you know I'm talking about you knuckleheads. Okay? All right, we're gonna move past that. All right, so yes. Oh, another plug I have to say that because this thing came up to me while I was eating breakfast that was super important. It was this idea that if you are putting out a resonance that there is no good men or no good women out there, okay, that is what you're going to attract. Okay, um me personally, I have been called a unicorn in many different spaces, whether I was in school, when I was in the military, right? Even when I was outside of the military, some people are like, oh, you're a unicorn, meaning that you're abnormal from my own self-limiting beliefs. That's really what you're saying to me, right? So if somebody meets you and then they think that you're some kind of exception to a rule, all they are conveying to you is that you're exception to whatever you're an exception to whatever limiting belief that they are carrying. Okay, so what does that relate to? There isn't all good men or good women or whatever case may be. If that's your self-limiting belief, when you do meet a good woman, you're going to think that this is the only person, or when there's actually tons. Okay, but your person is your person. Okay, if you're in a relationship because you don't have a good foundation of security or you're not secure within yourself, okay, which also manifests to physical insecurity, meaning you have to be dependent on others in order for your livelihood to Gucci, they're so cute. I'm sorry, this is one thing when I'm recording at the window, it's like nature is right there, so I can see everything. I fed them some apples earlier today, and I think they're enjoying that. Okay, but anyway, back to what I'm saying. If you think that there isn't yes, lack of security, because you have that as a foundation, as you keep going through this ascension process, meaning that you're taking the oils from your base, bringing it up to your crown, and then you keep doing that process, and hopefully you're doing it for your own well-being and your own reality changes, and not just getting siphoned by the energy harvesters of the world. Okay, you're actually shortchanging yourself. Okay, so that's the reality that you're creating. So if you're making a reality based in insecurity, that's the reality you're going to repeatedly keep experiencing, and that's the cycle that you're currently in. Okay, self-limiting beliefs, anything that you're doing that's limiting your own progression, okay? Whether it be being in a competition energy with your friends or your family members, if you're not basically putting forth the vibration of love, okay, and self-acceptance, and then when you self-accept yourself, you can accept anybody else because you realize that their journey is their journey. Okay, you don't need to be attached, you just need to be in alignment with. Okay, that's how you get that self-fulfilling feeling. Okay, the past couple of videos I go in more in depth about all of that, but just be mindful and be wary about that. Okay, what is the resonance that in which you are doing action toward? Okay, so for example, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like freaking out because you feel insecure about your finances, okay, that's probably not the best frequency to try to apply to jobs with. Okay, because you're just going to get that back. You're going to go sign up for a job that you don't really like, that's not going to be fulfilling to your spirit or your soul, but because the frequency in which it was planted was one of anxiety, anxiety and paranoia sometimes. Okay, that is what you're going to, whatever you sow is what you're going to reap. Okay, so just be mindful as you're going through these landmines. Other people's self-limiting beliefs that has no effect on your spiritual journey or your reality in which you are trying to create for yourself. That's why it's really, like I said, it keeps coming back to the idea of isolation. It keeps coming back to the idea of balancing one's time and only going and moving when you actually feel a charge. A charge. Thank you for the confirmation. I love you too. Okay, all of this stuff is very, very important. Okay, so if you keep going around with this, oh, there isn't that many good men and blah 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 blah, what is for you is going to be for you. So if you're an exception to a rule, are you a good woman? If you are a good woman, why don't you think that you have a good man that is in alignment with you? Stop this. There's an illusion of options out here. I know people used to tell me all the time, Shamika, don't put your eggs in all one basket. Play the field, girl. I don't got time for that. I know what I want when I see it. That one right there. I want to try that one out. And we might try it out and my heart might be broken. Don't worry about that. God got me. Okay? I cry. No, I really do be crying for real. I'd be crying for real. I'll be mourning. Sometimes I might have a good vibe and I'd be like, oh, I send a little love in the ether, like, I love you. I remember we used to do these things together. Okay? But after that, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And I just redirect that energy back to myself. And then I also attract what's more in resonance, right? Because there's a reason why the rejection was there. There's a reason on a soul level. Okay. I was just watching this girl. I can't remember her name, but I do like her readings. She does a lot of these things where she does like talks in like this light language and she's like or something like that. And I'd be like, I don't know what she's saying, but it's doing something to me. You know what I'm saying? So I like her. But she was also just talking about that. Sorry, I lost it. Bring it back. Talking about what? Mourning, rejection. Yes. If somebody's soul wants to experience other people, okay, there's no need for you to waste any more time there. Okay? That means you're not fulfilling. Everybody should be seeking their fulfillment. Okay, and it doesn't really come here. It's not really here in the brain where you're like, well, this person, he has a good job, he's stable, he can do this, I can do that. And it's not that. It's a heart space thing. Soul fulfillment. Okay? Because everything else kind of just starts clicking together, right? And then once you get the ancestors involved too, it's even more good energy, right? Because your ancestors have a lot of things to lose. Okay, they love you so much that as you're here on the physical plane, when they're in the ether, and sometimes they're in the ether while they're still in the physical plane because, you know, bloodlines are rich. But yes, they are able to help guide you and align you with your best possible mate in your given space and time. Okay? So it's really has nothing to do with anybody else. If somebody is not choosing you, or if you're not choosing that person, it's because that is not in alignment with your storyline. Okay, yes. Can you feel sad for 2 seconds? Yes. Go ahead. We will wait here for you to mourn, and then afterwards we will move on. Okay, and I'm not saying, because I know putting your eggs in one basket, it does definitely hurt sometimes. Okay, but this illusion of options is what's keeping everybody in some kind of limbo period, a weird half in, half out scenario. Okay, being the option to some, the want to be, and it also depletes a lot of energy. Okay, all right. And your energy is your currency. All right, which will keep repeating the cycle of insecurity. Okay, so I think I got everything out. I think I got everything out I wanted to say. So you want me back? If you're taking me to hell and back. I thought I told you I was done with that. Why you want me back? You want me back? Taking me to hell and back. Okay, that is it. Maybe whoever's getting this message, it is probably that energy. Maybe somebody's trying to return after they broke your heart, and then you mourn, and then they're like, "But remember, we used to love each other. You remember all that?" Yes, I do remember, but you have to align. Alignment is very, very important. Okay? Sometimes we meet people before our time. Okay? So let me click this on. I know. You guys are funny. Very, very funny. I just heard, oh, you putting on a shirt now. There's an old video of me when I was living in San Jose where I was wearing a bra. I was wearing a bra and I made this very outlandish comment about sleeping with our creator. I don't mean it like mother. I was bugging. All right, so anywho, let's get into it. So let's get into the reading. There's a lot of humidity here, so mind you, if you guys, we're going to be using Divinations, the Energy Readers Oracle deck, in order to give the overarching, and then we're going to use the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. This is an OG, and I may even use the African American Tarot. Might. It's kind of calling to me a little bit, but every time I see it in my mind's eye, all I'm seeing is this energy of balance. I'm seeing temperance. So balance, one foot on earth, physical, 1 foot in the water, emotional, ether, memory in the past. Okay, we're trying to get you from this past frequency. This is literally, I know we're about to approach the new moon in, I want to say, is it in Aries right now? The waning moon is in Aries. I think it's going to be in Aries soon. I think Saturn is also going to be in Aries. So this is all about that karmic cycle closeouts. This is like the last little stretch, okay? I need you to choose future you and not go back to the past. All right? That's probably why that song keeps coming up. All right? No! I'm sorry. If you're listening to this reading, the answer is no! I already feel lighter. Okay? No. Okay, I think, like I said, right now I'm recording this on a Saturday, so there might be a scenario of boredom. Okay, don't be bored. Go read. Okay, learn something. Go learn something new. All right, we are moving on from the past. We're choosing to have a better future and a better reality. I don't want to be trapped in the past with nobody, and for no reason. Okay, all right. So just be mindful of that, guys, as we're out here in these streets. Your past is going to become knocking like, hey, can I further distract you from your highest possible frequency and timeline? Is it possible? I've learned my lesson. Good. All right? Because in this new paradigm, alignment is your currency. It's either we're aligned or it's not. You cannot come and distract anybody listening to this message. All right? Receiving this message, no distractions. Okay? All right. I pray for the best possible outcome for all those involved. I make decisions in a peaceful state of mind. Okay? I like doing tarot cards. Okay? I also heard this today too. Yeah, I heard something. It was like, oh, why do you need tarot cards? You know, there's people who could just, they don't have to use tarot cards. They can just give you a reading and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that's true. That is absolutely true. It's just fun. That is true, because I don't always need my tarot cards. Sometimes, like, actually, the most authentic readings that I've given to people, I don't even know I'm giving readings until after the fact. Okay, and that's always fun. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it, and there's something about entering into the subconsciousness with the shuffling and the trance-like thing that I actually do enjoy. Okay, and I also created these cards. Okay, so it's like a homage to my old version of me and my creativity that has helped me got here. Okay, so I heard that, and so I'm just answering that. All right, so let's get into it. Thank you, God, creator of all things known and unknown. Please guide my best to live this message on the highest positive frequency for divine alignment for all those involved. Divine wisdom, power, and glory are honor all those who come before me to divinely protect it from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. Okay. I call back all energies from the north, south, east, and west, from the seen and unseen, to be directed for the best possible scenario for those listening to this message. Yes. Yes. What we got next, boo? So far we have a spellcaster card out. All right, this card wants to come out. I see it too. I think it's to do with creativity. I'm gonna take it. Thank you. Oh, Aries. Okay, so we have I learned from my experiences. It's a spellcaster card. Stay with me, Queen. Or should I say friend? Because I don't know if you're a male or a female. Okay, I did feel like some male masculine energy there. Okay, I learned from my experiences. I learned from my experiences. Okay, I learned from my experiences. I learned from my experiences. I learned from my experiences. All right, so what does that mean? We don't need to go backwards. Okay, we need to keep repeating lessons. All right, when people show you who they are, you believe them. All right, and then we have Aries energy, which I was just talking about. This Aries energy. Like I believe Saturn's going into Aries, as well as the moon phase, the new moon. We're in the shadow. Okay, we're in the shadow, and the shadow is where I actually shine the brightest. Okay, so there we go. All right, so let's read what this card says. You are where we shine the brightest. You are all about that action. This energy is associated with getting shit done and holding no prisoners. Aries energy is very passionate and vibrant. This is the type of energy you want around for any advancement. Good job. In the positive polarity, you have the torch now, and it's time to lead the way. In the negative polarity, be aware of your energy in any environment to avoid bystander casualties. Aries energy comes with the responsibility of structure and boundaries. Do not get carried away by its intensity. Do not get carried away by its intensity. All right? I do have one down here. I'm going to grab it. Okay. Before I do that, I want to also talk about this. This is why they're talking about this isolation thing. If you're following the channel, if you're following the readings, you should know right now that you're in a moment of spiritual isolation. That's when the most spiritual work gets done. Okay, because you don't have the distraction of anybody else's frequency. You don't have the distraction of anybody's else energy. Okay, it's just you. Okay, it's you and your higher self. It's you and God. It's you and the universe. It's you and nature, which I'm going to talk about for a little bit too, because there's a little frequency that's like in the air that I need to clear up about that, about nature. Okay, so let's get back to the reading. Fear. If you're scared of the dark, turn on the light. Don't give in to fear. We're usually fearful of the unknown outcome of our current experience. Use your light to shed truth on the situation. Acknowledge your fears. Number 1, acknowledge your fears. Number 1, acknowledge your fears. Number 2, find understanding in them. Number 2, find understanding in them. Number 3, be aware of your triggers. Number 3, be aware of your triggers. Number 4, rely on the knowledge that everything is working out for your divine alignment. Conquering fear is the key to living a fulfilling life. Okay, that is going to help with this intensity of the shift for some of you. Some of you guys are right there to experiencing a new version, a new reality. Get out of old paradigms. Okay, but this weekend is going to be the true test, and Saturn is not playing. Okay, it's huge, and it's over here like, hey, who am I collecting? Okay, in tarot, the devil energy is the energy of Saturn. Okay, don't get scary. Okay, what it means is that it's going to be tempting to you to fall back into old situations, old past thought forms, old resonance versions of yourself. Okay, remember that you learn from your experiences. Okay, and they may even try to use the karmic energy is going to try to use fear tactics in order to suck you right back in to that frequency. Because even when neuroknowledge talks about this, he talks about this idea that your old frequency doesn't want you to live a different life. It doesn't want you to evolve. Okay. And so it will come in different places, different people. Okay. Because it's like almost as if you were feeding certain thought forms to yourself, and it has literally wants to manifest here in the physical and then be embodied by you. Okay. But then once you start breaking certain cycles, certain ways of thinking, okay, that's when the new evolved version of you gets to take precedent. Okay. And what people usually get scared of is the unknown version, but you actually do know it because you have been slowly building it over time. Every time you were in isolation, you were actually studying yourself. Okay. And I know it's so crazy because it's like, well, do you have to study yourself to be your authentic self? You have to gain awareness of your authentic self. Okay. And once you gain that awareness, you can just keep on adding to that. And that's how you keep ascending. That's how you keep becoming a more evolved version of yourself. All the things that you liked when you were younger, right, gets amplified because you do more of those things. You become more into yourself, that you become like this mega version of yourself. Okay. All right. Beware of your triggers. You be aware of yourself. Study yourself so much that you realize there's certain things that's going to annoy you. All right. And I think this is where people get lost. And I know I had a whole rant about love and light, and how some people be like, it's not all love and light, but it's definitely a big key part of it. Okay. It's not to the point where you're ignoring the things that make you upset. Okay. None of this stuff is taboo. The crying, the lower level frequencies of yourself that you are now shedding. All right. The first point of actually releasing and evolving is by acknowledging that they exist, so that you know where it is that you need to start drawing the lines and creating new neuron pathways that are more healthier for your ascension. Okay. So for example, if you're younger and you were jealous of one of your siblings, of one of your friends, okay, finding peace and understanding. One, you have to acknowledge that you were harboring this thing in your resonance. Once you acknowledge it, you can call it out. And then when you gain the code to battle that thought form, like, how can I be jealous of someone, anything outside of myself, when I'm a complete being and have access to source? I lack nothing. This is a wasted energy and emotion. I redirect that energy toward my best alignment. And on top of it, I learn from my experiences, so I can be wary of when this energy is trying to be in my field in the future. Okay. All right. So lastly, we have patience. Patience is really anyone's strong point these days. And if this card is present during your reading, it's most likely time for it to become yours. Things of quality usually take time, care, and preparation. Don't rush the gift of a good story just because you are impatient. The journey makes the ending worthwhile. Rushing situations or interactions can indicate uncertainty. Find confidence in knowing that what is meant for you will always be for you, and it's only a matter of time. There's no need to rush because what is yours will be served in divine time. Okay. All right. That is also part of it. Okay. For you to find understanding in your fears, right, you have to have patience, just as if you were talking to a child. And I'm talking to your higher selves right now. Okay. Or I'm talking as your higher self. Okay. That is part of the conquering of the fears. Okay. I want you to live a fulfilling life, one that you're not dependent on external forces. Everything comes from internal and then is projected outward. Okay. But as we are ascending and gaining conscious awareness of ourselves on the most authentic level, okay, there's going to be these moments where you are going to get all that muck, okay, and nastiness that was implanted by our life experiences. They start coming. You start illuminating them. Okay, don't identify with them. Just find the understanding here. Okay, and then alchemize it, transmute it. Okay. This is why, again, the isolation is required. Now, when you do this amongst others, okay, it's like the shadows of others and your shadows are all like in the boxing ring. Okay. This is why you notice sometimes when people are drinking in parties and then like they change the vibration of the songs, and all of a sudden people are fighting. It's because their shadows are fighting. They're just all reflecting each other in the most negative way. Okay? So just be mindful of that. Rely on the knowledge that everything is working out for your divine alignment. Okay? And be patient with yourself. Okay? This is, remember, you already been living on this planet X amount of years. Okay? When you fill in the blank for that, or whoever I'm talking to. So there's been years and years of these moments of shadow being placed. And so just be patient, because everything's going to be revealed. Okay? You want it to be revealed so that you could live your most best fulfilling life. Okay? All right. What do we got? I want to take a break. It's been 30 minutes of me straight just talking. Okay. Yeah. Establish proper structure and boundaries. Okay. I learned from my experiences. Okay. Again, if you guys would like to purchase Divinations, the Energy Readers Oracle deck, it's really good at just getting to the bare bones. Okay. It has like all the zodiac signs. It has spellcaster cards that allow you to say certain affirmations to get you out of whatever situation. And it also has very clear, like, we call it major arcana, like in tarot, but in the oracle deck we're talking about like big energy themes. Okay, so you can pinpoint exactly what it is that is causing you problem. Okay, and it's all based in truth. When I made this deck, I was very adamant that we're not going to be sugarcoating anything. I want this deck to represent very clear, concise, truthful messages. Okay, conquering fear is key to living a fulfilling life. All right. Okay. Okay, so we got it. Okay, my friend. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is, it says here, prosperity begins. We have it says Triumph here, but this is the Chariot card. It's a Cancer card. And then we have the Throat Chakra, which should be balanced. Okay, so something that you're doing one in spirit that brings forth communication skills is going to bring some kind of prosperity. They're asking for you to be patient and wait for divine timing. I think you're moving when this Aries energy, as far as like the moon and Saturn is going to take a little bit, but once the moon gets out of this Aries energy is where you're going to see the like the light's going to be shined on the prosperity of this scenario. Okay. Yeah, you're leading. You're using you're using your voice to lead others. Okay, they're saying triumphant. You're actually already won. You've already won. Whatever it is, this thing that's bringing you prosperity that you're just waiting to actually see the physical. It's coming right now. It's just they're waiting for divine time. Thank you for that. But yes, you're already triumphant in spirit. You've already conquered this. You've already learned from this experience. So good job. Congratulations on that. All right. They're saying to feed your brain some good things. Just say walnuts. I'm saying walnuts. Eat walnuts. They're saying walnuts. They're also saying, eat good foods that cultivate your brain. Okay, because remember, it's physical as well as spiritual, right? So you can't get downloads if your vessel is compromised. If you don't have a good signal, you don't have good conductivity. Okay. Anything else from this deck? All right, no, they want to show me this. Okay. Let's do the African American Tarot deck. And then we're going to close out with the Angels messages. And I hope everybody's doing good, doing well. If you guys would like a personal reading, hit me up on Instagram. I just really enjoy doing these. Okay. I enjoy the cards. That's beautiful. But if it comes out again, I'll say it. But I'm not going to take it right now. That one as well. That was good. I did hear that you gained a lot of gifts during this last cycle. Okay, and they're extremely excited to see it come into the physical. Okay, so you've been doing such a good job with overcoming Cancer energy again, with overcoming deceptive energy, any kind of thought forms that are keeping you trapped in the past, any kind of thought forms that making you feel like you have to be put on a mask. You know, this ain't no future on the mask. Well, I guess this is future, mask off, right? You're living authentically. You're being who you need to be. You're living authentically. You're being who you need to be. Okay. And they're also showing me the King of Swords here, which is showing me that you're also very, you're moving with a great deal of wisdom. Okay. And you're making the wisdom practical. Okay. I mean, it's not just in the ethers, it's not ethereal, but you're actually physically doing things that are going to bring forth your wealth and truth. Okay. So we are very, very proud of you for that. Good job. You're avoiding a lot of nonsense. A lot of nonsense. Guys, the spiritual journey doesn't look like the same thing for everybody else, but you don't have to, it doesn't have to be to the point of spiritual exhaustion. Okay? You're going to know that which areas in your life you've been taking unnecessary side quests. That's really what it is. Right? I won't even call it unnecessary because it also has this ring of like there's a right or wrong thing. What I'm saying is that if you are being drained, you should really think, am I around the right people, places, and things? Am I having good spiritual contracts with people, places, and things? You don't need that many people. You don't. Okay, so I'm talking about doing it for the love, not doing it for the likes. I know it's a song and I was being cute, but I'm being dead serious. Okay, when you're in alignment with something, it has no choice but to bring forth success. Okay, if you're suffering, then that is a clear sign that there's a reason that you need to set up some more boundaries, and you're going to learn a lesson whenever you learn the lesson. Okay, but not everything, the whole point I'm trying to say is not every negative thing that happens in your life is a bad omen. Okay, like, because in spirituality, you are going to get sick. You are going to get these situations where you are going to be feeling sad. You're going to feel quite a large array of emotions depending on where you at. Okay, but as you keep doing this, you ascend easily. Okay, and if you're not ascending easily, then you must review the last cycle. Who did you introduce that was new? Start there. Okay, whose energy is this that is now attached to my spiritual aura field? Okay, because I should not be feeling these levels of low. Okay, because I can easily ascend because I learn from my experiences. Right? I don't repeat cycles. I don't repeat them over and over. This is not like, think about when you were in school. People have to repeat a grade because they're just not getting it. All right. Some of you guys are dealing with a lack, coming from a lack perspective. Okay. Stay vigilant. I heard that. And you're not, okay. The advice is to stay vigilant. One of the things was that you're not being vigilant with your time, energy, and attention. Okay. Remember, things happen in spirit first, then it happens in physical. So you need to start, if you're a prayer warrior, start praying. The reason why these things work is because you're now entering your subconscious mind and you're saying certain things in order to help realign you in spirit first. Right? Because if you can convince your brain of it, then you have no choice but to see it in reality. Okay. Yes, repetition is one of the ways that you can get into your subconscious programming, as well as making sure your brain is in some theta waves. Okay, but it's better to do things in short repetitions. Okay, instead of trying to just like flood your brain with a bunch of these things at one time. Like I said, whatever seeds that you're planting in your subconscious brain has to be under the frequency of stability, not in anxiousness. Okay, so if you're like, well, I want to be here and I want to be here right now, you need to be in patience. Okay, patience. The feminine energy, which is very spiritual, is very, very patient. Look at Mother Nature. Nothing, if you plant a seed today, you're not going to see it tomorrow. Patience. Everything takes time. Shout out to Nana Kwame. And also eat some time. Okay, maybe that will help you with whatever it is that's going on. But yeah, you need to stay vigilant. I did see that your lack of vigilance has caused some problems. Maybe you're talking too much. I know. Sometimes I make these readings, and I know sometimes low-key I be talking to myself, but I'm talking to myself on a different space and time. Okay. Sometimes you talk too much. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I acknowledge my fears. Okay. It's okay. And I'm heavily protected. So it's really, they account for that. That's my whole point, is that your spiritual family is going to account for that as you're going. I am seeing some prosperity. Prosperity begins. Okay. Harness those skills. Make sure that you're alchemizing, use all of your tools to your disposal. Okay, your passions, your thoughts, your coins, your physical blessings that's already been given. Okay, your emotions. They're also showing me like the downloads that you're getting, the little jewels of knowledge that you're getting. Okay, and you're arming yourself with that wisdom against any entity that is trying to distract you. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles here. I did see someone's probably taunting you or making fun of you. It's because you actually are truly you're destined for greatness. Okay, you're destined for greatness. Okay, you're destined to have the Queen of Cups. I'm sorry, Queen of Pentacles energy, where anything you want, you can grab, and it's literally divinely given by Mother. Divine Mother is giving you, so what she's giving you, no one can take away. Okay. They are telling me that you're like out running death, or okay, so it's no, that's not it. It's like this death and rebirth process, and they're trying to get you once you go to sleep tonight. You and your spirit goes into the astral, and then you wake up again, and your body has shed whatever cells that need to die off from the day before. You are going to be then getting coaxed every day in your life. This is happening, but I want to make sure we're stressing this weekend in particularly. You're going to be guided from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. Okay, and even in your dreams, because they've been wanting to reward you for the lessons that you've already came through. Unlocking, they keep showing me your throat chakra. I don't know if you're singing or being more boisterous with your voice, speaking your truth, okay, and holding no prisoners. That they keep showing me the pentacle for that. You're doing very good. Okay, so just yes, they got your back. They're maintaining the vigilance on the spirit. Make sure you're maintaining your vigilance in the physical. Okay, yeah, but don't overexert yourself. They're guiding every one of your steps. Okay, and they're already giving you everything. You already have everything that you need in order to ascend this. They keep this. Lastly, they keep iterating to me to be mindful of your triggers. So that's going to be the thing that gets you caught up. For example, if somebody comes into your vicinity and then all of a sudden they say one thing to trigger you because they know you so well, right? Let's say you have anger issues, and they're like, well, you are a fatty or a skinny piece of crap, right? I don't know. I'm trying to be mean. It doesn't live within me. It doesn't come to me naturally to make fun of other people. But yes, okay, so yeah, so let's say someone says that to you, and then you're like, BITCH, I want to beat your ASS, right? And I'm being cute, right? Because I don't really, ever since I was young, I never really talk much. People try to bully me, I just kind of be like, all right, we're squaring up. There's nothing really more. Okay, so but either way, what I'm trying to say is don't get triggered back to that past you. Okay, they are the ops. Okay, and they're working with this devil energy. Okay, not necessarily a bad thing, to see if you can maintain your resonance, to see if you are who you say you are. You got to learn from your experiences. All right, don't give in to the temptation of the wrath. Okay, because that's really the energy in which you're coming at is wrath. Okay, some of you guys, it's lust. Make sure that that energy isn't creeping up. You might get a text message from maybe an ex person who you used to share some sacral energy with. Don't be distracted by that bullshit. Okay, right now you need to be isolated and set up your boundaries. Set up your boundaries. Set up your boundaries. Okay, a boundless woman is a vulnerable woman. You need to have your boundaries. Okay, that was one of the lessons, Lord knows, I will never ever forget. Ever. Okay, you need to have boundaries. Okay? We are not living back to a certain reality. All right? So establish your boundaries, acknowledge your fears. Okay? Acknowledge your fears. Remember, who God has blessed, no man can curse. Yes. Yes. Shout out to the entity Yah. Yes. I have no problem saying that. It's okay. I'm grateful for the consciousness. Okay, anything else? Yeah, but I rock with Divine Mother more so. Okay, that's why. Okay, so we have Opal. We have your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. Your children on earth as well as in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. All right, so when I just read that, I know, like, obviously it sounds like I'm talking about physical children, but we're also talking about like the spirit. Okay, bear with me now. Now, there is something that came to me today before I even logged on here, but it's the idea that there's spirits that choose different wombs to actually inhabitate. Okay, so when you're conceiving a child, it's because the creator of this entire physical world, has sent a spirit that has chosen you to be their mother. Okay, and depending on your frequency is how high or low that child will be able to. It's going to be an hour. I gotta hurry up. High or low that child can be able to I guess become physical here. Okay, between the residence of the parents. That's why we have certain bloodlines that we want to preserve. We want to preserve these bloodlines because they're high frequency bloodlines. They can only bring high vibrational children, okay, into this plane of existence that's supposed to help us on a collective Ubuntu. Okay, so with that being said, just know that your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. You don't have to worry about them. Anything that you're creating here on this physical plane, whether it be actual children, that's already safeguard. Just make sure that you're remembering to learn from your lessons, establish your boundaries, be patient. It's literally right there. Okay, congratulations on everything that you have attained and learned this far. We are very, 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 very proud of you. Okay, remember, conquering fear is key to living a fulfilling life. Goodbye. Have a good one. If you guys would like a personal reading, hit me up on Instagram. Bye.